than Vítor has, despite the fact that maybe Vítor has has had more aggressive coaching throughout the past. But let's go ahead and jump in and see as these two former teammates go head-to-head here in the upper bracket.
So Wallace was leaking pretty heavily early on. Already leaked 3.4 elixir more than his opponent, and Wallace going aggressive, beautiful Fire Spirit, beautiful Dark Goblin, and that is a lot of pressure on top of the tower. The minion horde getting so much value, even with the perfectly timed Fire Spirit. Just a beautiful offensive play from Wallace, and man, I've missed it. It's been 8 or 9 years, but minion horde at the bridge is finally a play again.
Well, you know, I don't know if everyone agrees with missing that so much, but I know that you've always had a soft spot for unorthodox or maybe unprofessional moves. What's the I don't know how to put it.
I like to use the word creative, but yes.
I remember we had you and from TSM. His real name is Isaac. He was their 1v1 specialist.
Oh my goodness.
I can't remember who. Vulcan. Yeah, I think we had you and Vulcan maybe at Super League Studios for a best of 5 matchup. It might have been you and Vulcan. It might have been you and Oxalate. But I remember game number 1, whoever you were playing against came out with a serious deck, and you came out with some sort of classic AC Three Musketeers nonsense. And after game 1, you looked and you were like, oh, that's how we're playing. We're playing real decks. Got it.
I always enjoy somebody who's allowed to have fun on the big stage, which is definitely why Zobsam is easily one of my favorite players to ever watch.
Vítor.
Wow.
What a connection here as the Dart Goblin sneaks past the Mortar, not able to get down in time. Vines just open that up. And Vines truly are the current, and look at that, Miner to the inside, trying to make room, but of course, Vines will ground those Fire Spirits to clear it out. And Vines really does feel like the one Monopoly card in here, because you can get out of jail for free.
Yeah, and I am loving what I'm seeing so far this weekend from these pros. They're using the Vines in so many different ways that I never would have really thought of. Yeah, he was so quick to realize that Vines was the correct answer on top of that minion horde. These players are so strong, and right here, this is going to be potentially just damage and the game over. Wow.
Trying to hold on. Can't do it. Wallace with the huge comeback. And that looked like he was dead in the water 3 times. Right? So 3 times playing about as aggressive as you can. And you see a little smile there from Vítor. Both these guys, of course, with multiple World Finals appearances. Some of those appearances, or one of those appearances, together in 2020, when Wallace was the big hero of Pain Gaming, pretty much soloing Nova Esports. Vítor, though, in the solo era, has become kind of a fixture at World Finals, making it in 21, 22, and 23. Didn't make it last year, as we had only 8 players for Worlds last year, but I don't know if he would have made it if there were 12 or 16. I'm pretty sure he would have made it if there were 16. I don't remember what the standings were from last year. I can probably check on that, but both these guys with multiple appearances.
Vítor is just one of those guys where he just shows up at World Finals and he's a player. You know, time and time again, whenever there's a final opportunity to qualify, he's going to show up. It feels like the last chance qualifier is definitely made for Vítor.
Well, down 1, and of course, this is not an elimination game for Vítor. He is in the upper bracket, so if either player goes down here, they will go down into the lower bracket and continue fighting along. Of course, your route to the championship much easier the longer you stay in that upper bracket.
And so it's not really a problem whatsoever just yet. I don't think it'll become a problem in the future as well. But you do have to sort of look at your King Tower and say, all right, it's already lower than the Crown Tower. I can't necessarily just NATO the Hog to the King anymore. I'm going to have to think of other ways to defend.
And Fire Spirit just gets right in front of the Evo Inferno Dragon. Still takes about a third of the HP off of the Furnace. Hog goes under, still goes to the cage, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty shocked by that interaction right there. Thought it was going to bypass that. Not going to be the case. And Vítor, another very clean defense right there. Wallace hasn't really given up pretty much any damage. Looks to be just under 300 from both of his towers.
Lightning value for Wallace. Entering into sudden death overtime. Wallace has the lead on that right-hand side. Vítor with damage in both lanes. But we'll see if having two lanes ends up mattering at all as time goes on. Does a little pressure play with the guards on the left-hand side. Forces out the bar barrel. But Wallace having real difficulty getting into the second level. Vítor having real difficulty into the second level here.
Such a small interaction, but getting the Ice Spirit timing where the Skellies were staying alive. Just those little plays. So impressive from some of these players.
And it's really interesting how well, Wallace has been using his Lightning. Vítor not able to really get his Lightning going here. But the Lightning both opening up offensive opportunities, and as you saw there, just shutting down some of these plays on the defensive side of the board.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of an answer. I'm trying to think of what I would do if I was Vítor. What is the play? How do I get through this? And I'm coming up with nothing. Wallace is just controlling the entire game. You know, with these E-Giant, these heavy E-Giant decks, you are waiting till triple. So this was where the game can get flipped. But Wallace is just defending so well. These Teslas are getting cycled. He's going to have an Evo Tesla maybe next, but either way, he's just doing such a good job of controlling this entire match.
That Lightning from Wallace got a little bit of everything here. The Evo Tesla in cycle going to hold, but right now, Evo Inferno Dragon, does Vítor have a Lightning to help support this? Does he need a Lightning to support this? And cannot quite break through. 25 seconds left, and now he goes to the right-hand side. This is where that dual lane pressure might have actually come somewhat handy. He does have to worry on the left-hand side. Now on the right for... Nope, not going to get there. 1780. Mighty Miner forced a response out. Wallace puts the Lightning to put a bow on it, and that's an easy 2-0 for Wallace over his former teammate.
Yeah, Wallace played that to perfection, just controlled the entire tempo of the game. I mean, really, when you look at how Vítor played that matchup, there's really nothing he could have done.